previous game. I also want to put a focus on Woot, because you get this guy, you had him as a secondary duelist quite a bit last year. His worst duelist of every duelist he has played is Yoru. Wow. And by a fairly considerable margin as well. I think his next lowest is like 230 ACS. His Yoru is 200. Like, he's having a rough time. So if that's the decision by the Heretics coaches, management, whatever, to bring in a guy that doesn't really fit what you need, like bringing in that Yoru, I now need to see Woot prove that his Yoru is good enough for him not to just be playing something else. Just put him on an ISO, he'll kill everyone.
Exactly. Oh, well, not a bad start for Benji Fishy. Audaz has been deleted with an attempted push down C long for that information. ULF have been denied it. They look instead towards Garage. One player out, a second joining. Quickly fading out. I love that. That's a beautiful bait. Favian has been set up here. They shouldn't expect him to be in the corner, but Benji's checked it anyways. He caught a glimpse of him on the edge of his screen, and well, that trap play very nearly sprung onto Heretics. Instead, they're in a 5 versus 3.
It's already not looking the best in the pistol. Neki at least in a position maybe to try and surprise them. He's going to try. Ooh, it's not pretty. A lot of damage done, a lot of low HP players, but nobody falling over on the Heretic side just yet. Demo. Oh, the swing out from Boost, going to give him one for free, but he now needs every single player on the block. And it will be Benji and Woot to close things out. 1-0 in favor of Heretics. And I also, obviously, I think the desk have sort of set this up as it is with this match. Like, you are talking about a team playing with 2 stand-ins who came in as an Ascension roster. The 2 players they have missing are their 2 best players. Yep. I would say especially like Sop. I think he's been someone that's been lighting up Ascension all the way through.
Yep.
Expectations are almost 0. For Heretics, the polar opposite. Like, realistically, we were talking before, what is our line in the sand? I said mine's around the... If they lose more than 8 rounds a map, I'm starting to worry about them for the rest of the year.
And it does sound mean to say that.
Yeah, for sure.
Mean-spirited towards ULF, but the reality is, as you highlighted, they have so many disadvantages coming in. Their opening matchup didn't look convincing. It didn't look like any hope in terms of coming up against a squad with the caliber of Heretics. And so if we see Heretics stumble, struggle here today, it is going to, even if they come out with the W, even if they take that 2-0, 2-1, if it's a struggle, worries start to pop up because there seems to be a power level difference, at least on the assumed one. And a flying start from Benji Fishy. He's having a good day, at least to boot here.
Yeah, and he's baited them to almost just push him and avoid the rest of the team who are now on the A site. I think that the only interesting thing really for ULF is the 2 stand-in players, like Stern and Dema. This is sort of like the worst possible interview you could go into ever. It's like Alan Sugar's sat on the other side of the table, and you're trying to basically prove that it's worthwhile. No, he's not. Well done, Dema. Well done. Ace denied. But yeah, this is you trying to almost make a name for yourself. Obviously, a lot of the Turkish league is stacked, so a lot of the quote-unquote best talent are locked into teams. I look at a team like Eternal Fire. Their players were not going to sub in for 2 months knowing that they're not going to get to play in the league the second that's over. So it's these players maybe trying to make a name for themselves is the one thing that you can kind of look at as, okay, maybe this guy comes back to tier 1 because of his performance. But other than that, it genuinely is like, okay, how much damage can you do? How much fun can you have? And can you make some of these games a little bit more interesting?
I think Demer as well is a decent highlight. He's had a tough showing to start out down on that stage. But the reality is, you know, especially stepping up to this level.
Last board. Take a deep breath if you need, bro.
But yeah, it's
I need a drop.
definitely going to be a player I have my eyes on. A 3-1 start. Confidence.
Yeah, he's already gone up.
But he started with an operator in round number 3. Crazy investment, you would think. Is he going towards Garage with this? The stun certainly to slow them. But yeah, he's looking for the fight. Comebacks running it down with the squad at his back. And it looks like there's going to be a crunch from ULF. They've sent a lot of players into this position, but Stern, was he a little ahead of the pack, or was that a shot through a wall?
Whatever it is, it's not gone well, especially with some of the weaker weapons. Watto's now looking to potentially get aggressive on the other side, might be able to catch out. Ooh, and there you go. That's at least one.
Where is everyone?
Reveal is going to get Benji. Now it's the rifle and the peek through from Neki. Knew he was on the other side, tried to catch him off guard and failed. Some individual plays that have been feeding Benji additional kills, and they know exactly where their opponents are. Orders with a nice singular shot, but that's a post plant once again. Weapons already upgraded, and what is looking like a 3-0 start, because Mitch, as you mentioned, that operator, it's not great now.
Yeah, it's not going to be fantastic on the retake, is it? A 9-1, man. Benji's on it again. It was a 3K, a 4K. Come in with 2 to start this one, but Demer's still drawing breath, and Benji is going to be the one sent out to try to catch him early. Already heading his way towards that C site to cut him off. There's nowhere to go. Demer, 26 HP. They just need to land that singular shot on him, and he will be going down. And it's Benji looking for his 10th in round number 3 to do it, man. And Op dropped out of play as well. Huge impact from this man. In the first 3 rounds, he's on double digits. Madness.
Yeah, he had a bit of a rough start. Obviously, a slightly different opposition here today than what we saw in their opening match when they faced off against Na'Vi.
I don't know, bro.
Thanks for the input. We appreciate it, Benji. But something at least a little bit interesting. Obviously, Afron Fire has gone back to this ULF team, a man who is very well known within the Turkish scene. And yeah, you can see the list of players that has worked under him. Definitely a solid coach, someone I'm excited to see more of when they have the full roster. I think for now, it's can he pull some pieces together, maybe throw in a surprise here and there. I think also for the other 3 players, this is just a chance to get used to EMEA. Like, it's a different beast. You're going to come up against tougher opposition week in, week out. You're going to play on the stage regularly. And I think that will work nicely for them because you gain that confidence and your 2 other players come in and go, oh, I know everything. Like, oh, this is how we get to here. You know the little bits of the studio. Like, it reduces a lot of the stress when they can play in stage 1. Oh, that's unlucky. 145.
Not ready yet.
I feel like there's nothing worse in this game than a 145.
I'd say a missed shot. It's a little worse for me, but you know, I just like to
not if that player doesn't die.
Right. That's true. Yeah, if he doesn't go down, I'm
I was also going to say maybe TPing and falling off the map, which yeah, we saw yesterday.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate if that were to happen. Demer, this isn't going to be the round that we judge him by, that's for sure. Oh, goodness, there we go. Got there in the end. Boo's low from that earlier 145. Boots being tagged up. You know, there's a chance here. Beautiful timing. And another tag. And a shock dart sent through. The bounce isn't quite good. It won't catch the kill. But Rianz has gone down this round. Not done yet. In fact, it's Benji Fishy who might have to be the hero yet again. He's the only one with full HP. Or anywhere near it.
Cage triggered.
Tapping that defusal. Trying to bait them in. A lot of players spamming. Now the second tap, and maybe makes them believe this already to half. I wonder what it takes for someone to go through. Benji's run out of bullets. Benji's run out of bullets. He's going to have to fall back, and because of that, Woot's been fed to the lambs. The problem is somebody still needs to get on that defusal. Now they are sticking it, but it has been denied. Time ticking away. Fabian the only one left, and Boo, well, I said 145. If you don't kill him, it's going to be painful. He lives to tell the tale.
Yeah, ends up being a really big part of this round in the late stage. So
I'm not smug at all. No,
I'm inclined to agree with you there, Tom. That does suck. But for Benji, staying alive, still got that 1 death on the board, 11 kills, a 4-0 start. And for ULF, look, they can sit there and say, well, we made that one incredibly competitive. That could have been our round.
Job.
We had nothing going into it. It's more Heretics who will be disappointed with how close it ended up, but with that said,
like 20 plus kills and a half. So we know that the skill is there.
Yeah.
We've seen it on Pacific before that, but
Placing swamp grenade.
waiting to see it on Heretics.
yeah, we've seen that ceiling, how high up it can go. 4-0 start for Heretics. Timeout for ULF as they look to course correct before this gets way out of hand.
I'm out
Demer
of here.
already going to deal with some utility. The cam thrown up close, but he hasn't called for backup just yet. ULF very patient, not over-rotating. We'll see how this works, though. The drone's gone down through mid for Heretics. The brakes have been pumped entirely, and as time goes on here, I think the only difficulty for ULF is that the only place they were looking for information was A. They've been denied that, and so now they're sat back with no intel of their own. A drone's going to be burned, but it finds nothing. And now they're going to have to gamble on a solution. Do they stick in the current positions and wait for the hit to come in? Or do they go for some aggression somewhere? And you can certainly see a lot of movement around mid and the double doors. Will they give the fights?
Seems like Dema is at least wise to the fact that there could still be a player around this angle. You can see the gate crash for Woot, so he can put pressure in on one side and very quickly move to the other, selling the idea this is a fake. Look at the rotation being pulled from off. 3, 4, even the 5th coming in. Look, I've got a flank, we've locked them in. The C site, however, is completely open for business. As a nicely sold fake from Heretics, and unfortunately their opponents have fallen hook, line and sinker for what was a decent fake, but one that they almost had to gamble. As you said, they just didn't have the information.
Now, it's time to fight back in. It's going to be Fabian with a lot to do here. He's managed to thread the needle around the back. Boost spam was good though. Taking down another and thinning out the herd. That felt like a chance with Fabian's positions, with eyes dragged into the other choke point. But, well, it's the same old story. It's Heretics 5-0. And that was the timeout from ULF going into their bye round. Now they don't quite have the credits to match up. I suppose they can still force it if they want to. But there's no sign of any slowing down on that attack side.
It is quite funny that the second highest fragger in the server is Dema.
Yes. And he did start 3-1.
Currently 5-4, and that's just because, yeah, most of the kills are just going Benji's way. Comeback still hasn't really had anything to do.
We're going to have to ask him what his lucky charm is. He must have come in today, had a different cereal. I don't know what it is, but he looks locked in.
Oh, comeback. It's a 0-5. A completely different story for the young Turkish duelist. Neki. It's not a bad spot to have this gun.
Next. Here.
Problem is, who's going to be taking the space? Here is the Hunter's Fury to make things very awkward. There is no escape, but while they push up, there you go. Benji's now died. Someone else will have to step up. It looks like that might be Wu. Flash through, leaves Dema so blind. He almost managed to get away with that one. And Aldous has found the trade. This is one of the better rounds we've seen from ULF so far. A chance to get one onto the board. But Woot and Rian still stand.
Yeah, that's very much the problem. Info to play with. Good snake bite. Rian's going to take a bit of damage, but most importantly, the drone is taken out of play, but it had already spotted Audas, and so they know exactly where he is as Woot walks in his 3rd kill of the round. He swung out. He was down to 38 HP. He'd been tagged up, and no hesitation there. Right back in for the fight, and it really looks like Heretics playing this game like they're the better squad, but they still have that discipline in the early round. Just right there, Woot's starting to feel it.
This is the problem. Like, they're going to go into most series with not a lot of fear, but they're going to go into this series with none. And when you have Woot popping off, it is kind of just game over. This man was molded in the Turkish League, so going up against a team that has just risen from the Turkish League and has pieces missing from their normal squad, yeah, he's going to feel confident. 8-1, 6-0 for Heretics, and
yeah, with comeback going 0-5 as well, which, you know,
he's warming up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. A veritable.
He just started very, very cold.
Started on the Kelvin scale.
He was on absolute 0, and he's just getting it. Now he's at like minus a few thousand degrees, but he'll be warm in no time. Warm in no time.
Oh,
Somebody turn the heater on. Get him some
Here
ham.
he comes. This is it.
Okay, maybe next round. It's all right. Woot's there with the trade. Fabian on another. They're still able to do damage with the pistols.
I know exactly.
Stick it around. Another one for Fabian. Maybe a chance to get a first round on the board, but he's getting revealed, and Benji Fishy still alive. And that has been an issue so far. Benji and Boot. Disadvantage in terms of personnel. Now Dema, full armor.
Spike planted.
And the ult's probably coming.
Yeah, it's a shame the weapons that have been dropped are all towards a main, so miles away. Nice shot by Boo. That's the big danger dealt with. Paranoia locked and loaded. Well landed. And Benji Fishy's following up on it. Beautiful round from Boo there. Both of those kills essentially going to him, but it's Benji that has to pull this off in the end with Audas. 6 bullets left in that Stinger. He's running low on ammunition, but Benji only needs 1. He's unstoppable today. 16-2, 7-0. Hey, where is the hope for Ulf?
I love the boo
Down
because
A.
he knew the Neonut was online, held the widest angle I've ever seen on the guy about to come around the corner because he knew the pace he was coming at.
Nice, Benji.
Boo gets a kill. Paranoia's from heaven. Brings him back in the route. Nice, Benji. Good job. All right, okay.
Hey, Benji
He
still
did win the 1v1.
and got
And he got two kills
yeah.
technically. Look, I was blind, but whatever.
He got most of the kills.
Nice Benji and Boo. That's what I would have said,
Okay.
but whatever.
I thought I was meant to be one of the Boo brothers, but clearly you're the you're the rep.
Rooting for the
Have
team.
you become his agent?
Both of them. Both of them. I get royalties now. Beautiful. I'm retiring.
7-0. That's it. The expectation was that this would happen. Especially, the only thing that's really surprised me so far today was that Ulf picked Haven. Like they say picking your poison normally when you have two bad options. They picked the worst option off rip. So they didn't have two vials of poison. There was one vial of poison and some not so poisonous vials, and they chose the most poisonous one to go first. And I don't know why.
Aggression. Look at this down short. Stern's walking up. He wants the info. A little further behind is Audass. They've waited. They're going to swing this together if they go all the way through. But Boo's seen the elbow already. One taken down, but Audass
Nice.
quick with the trades. He's doubled up. And now a real chance with Audass on the triple. This could be the round
30
where all
seconds left.
finally bounce back. Fabian
Last
won't fall
player
for the
standing.
decoy, but the shot is good on the back of the flash. Great utility from Woot. The criticism of his Yoru not warranted, at least here today, as Heretics find another round, 8 in a row. And Ulf still on the starting block.
They've had moments. That's the thing. You still see some of that individual brilliance. Audass in this round. They're even doing the strat of like, shoot at me, while running in with the Yoru, and he picks the guy behind. Like it's clear that individually he's at least showing up 9 and 8. He's overtaken Demmer at the top of the board, but I think you've almost got to look at maybe the more emotional side of things.
100%.
You've got to try and get some of those players you know are talented, who he had worked with for a while before. Obviously, switching up teams for a bit. We'll see if it comes of anything.
The reality is you're not just up against Heretics, you're up against the wounded Heretics who underperformed on week 1, who had their heads held low.
Yeah.
There's no way they're coming in today with their foot off the gas. And for Ulf, a squad who picked up 4 rounds in total in their opening BO3, it really has got to be demoralizing, like you say, to be in this position. But still plenty of game left to be played, as Fabian is showing us. Benji Fishy, the man who really has been the beating heart of Heretics' attack side here. He's been put to bed early. A valuable opening pick and nothing to show for it on that attacking side.
Yeah, a decent read as well. But out of the defense, they've got 3 players on this A site. Ready and waiting. Hunter's Fury, shot dart. Could do, I only really caught Whoop, but it's at least staggered the push a little bit. Demmer at the back of the site. Some serious pressure they're about to come under. Quick kills coming up for Heretics once again. And they are being picked apart one by one. Audass, only man actually on this side,
30
his
seconds
teammate
left.
very, very far away. And what was looking like a round with some potential, fortunately looks like it's going to end the same way.
Yeah, I think this is the problem, though. Like, you just have Heretics grouping up in these disadvantages and then muscling a part of the site where they're finding those individual duels. The jump in, attempt it. Stern finds no one in the corner and a whole bunch of players on the other side. Woo! Comeback's on the board, yeah. Congratulations to him. Unfortunately, Ulf aren't.
Felt a bit unnecessary, but, you know. Yeah, you know. I think they know that. But, yeah.
He's reckon after the timeout with the opening duel and then the
Let's
4
go
players
back
that
up,
just
baby!
ran into the site and
You
destroyed.
just got to look at his face. He's like, yes, I'm on the board. We're winning 9-0 and I have 1 kill.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, I mean, it is attack side. My brother's got to slide in. He's got to take those fights. A couple of times he took contact.
Yep,
and,
I feel like Benji's been
shot to the
taking
head.
contact more than him.
yeah. It's very true.
Okay.
It's that Cypher kit set up for it, you know?
Yeah. And they buffed it recently, didn't they?
Was that a drone crew? It must have been. I see drones already being used.
Oh, counter. And
Oh.
Brienne does it better.
That's how this game's been going, really. You fire one through, they fire it right back, and guess who ends up with the blood on their hands? It's Heretics. Come back with his second. He's doubling up. Beautiful. And like for ULF at this point, 3 versus 5. He said it's all about marketing those individuals for this squad, making a name for yourself. Well, Demer's the only man on this side of the map. He's got an op in his hand, big investment. See if he can make anything from it, and already Woot Down's a valuable pick.
Yeah, decent reposition, but they're posted up. He'd need to be very quick with the shot, and he actually gets out unscathed. I thought he would at least take damage if he didn't connect, but managed to get out of there. The TP actually warrants a full rotation back, but this now leaves Ordaz on that side of the map. He's had his moments, but with Overdrive running it down,
30 seconds
leading the pack. Needs to try and clear comeback. He'll get the chance in individual fight, and actually, he's going to spring to life. Ordaz again has given them a chance to at least deny that 13-0. Stop the chat from spamming. Boo's the only one that stands in their way. 15 seconds, surely no time. TP across. He's going to find him from above. And should be able to get the plant in. But the flank coming. All he has to do is deny the plant. All he has to do is kill him before he gets it down. And while Demo will eventually get the job done. No 13-0 today. They've at least found one.
Better late than never, I suppose, Tom.
Yeah.
9-3 still possible at this stage, but the most important thing being pulling yourself back from that position. I mean, Ordaz, the fact that he's had a couple good rounds so far, but the fact that he gets the TP towards that A site, the rotation comes in, he cancels the TP, sits back here, isolates every duel, plays it so well. The fact that he allows Comeback to get all the way deep into sight, because if he challenges him early, Comeback gets traded, probably, or at least the information is there, they can group up, they can take that fight, but instead he's in that perfect position to really disrupt the take, force those individual fights. Really nicely done. Pulls them to 1 round, like his name is Matter, and now we go to round 11. 2 left to play for. ULF need them both.
Early flash. Demer in position. Shot ready to take out Comeback. Another opening fight going in the favor of the defensive side, but as you sort of mentioned, it's a lot of the time been the group ups, been those more direct hits that have been a struggle for them to deal with. The utility overload has just left them with not much to play with. And it seems like that's the direction Heretics are going again.
Well, it definitely was at the start of the round, right? We saw that flash thrown through with the attempt to take the op off the angle. But Demer held his ground. Got a pick as a result. Now, they make their way towards him yet again. They look for this challenge. The drone sent out the decoy, the gate crash, everything thrown towards us, but they know. They're waiting for that TP to be taken, and there it is. A freebie as Woot just goes in blind. Ordaz again here to deliver, and although he'll go down, there's still enough players here, you would imagine. Boo on the side has this op to deal with, the info there to play with, but the shot lands eventually as Demer continues to claim kills. A second for ULF. And we talked about building confidence. We talked about the debut from this man being a bit underwhelming. Well, what a way to get back on the board.
Yeah, great round from him. That's it. Like, for him and Stern especially, like, these are the 2 players that pretty much know their fate already. They are going to be replaced when the other 2 come back into the roster. So this is all about having those moments of flair, those moments of brilliance, and that's exactly what Demer has had in this round. 12-8, not having a bad game, individually at least. See how much more they can get out of it.
Well, all we could really ask for is that they heat it up, right, in that first half. Even if the map was gone, you just want to see that bit of momentum, and it's certainly far from gone now. Heating up our ULF as Fabian finds a double, of Demer's there as well. We said they needed all of the remaining rounds, and now it looks like they may well have done it. That spike miles away, but Boo, he can steal it back for the 2 versus 4.
Seems like they're already going to try and re-aggress across the map, though. A push up from Neki. The same from Fabian. And, well, realistically, the Heretics, they're going to want to get into a position to steal the spike and be on a site.
My porter broke.
At least that's what they'll do for the most part. For now, actually, it just seems like Woot is going on a walkabout. He's seeing what he can find, maybe trying to get a kill or two. There's some space on the B site, but the second he goes in that direction, the turret will give the game away. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any more
30
teleportation devices to get him in without being revealed.
Well, the spike has been stolen, but they have space everywhere else. So ULF instantly know where it is, and Fabian, he's on their tail. He might not get them both, but surely the work has been done. 12 seconds. Spike plant possible on back side here. Position's going to be so important for Woot with no control. He's a little wide. He's way too wide. In fact, a shutdown from Neki, and now ULF finding 3 rounds. We said they wanted to heat up, and they've done just that, simmering like a dodgy kettle down on that stage. Let's see if they can continue this streak of rounds after the break.
Spike down. C. There we go. Spike there.
Alberto was
Exactly what we want.
Against Durka.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Give him a break.
Durka Phoenix. Well, 9-3. Heretics, they let it slip at the end. And maybe they've given ULF a way back into the game. Time to find out is the attack side now to be tested.
In curses?
Woo! Well, ULF are 0-5 when it comes to pistol rounds. It seems like someone might have put a curse on them, but this could be their chance to turn things right.
Yeah.
Stern in there for 2, but Benji, he delivered 3 in the pistol last time. He'll be shut down early, and Boo left to 20. This could be the first pistol for ULF. All they have to do now is find that plant, but they're isolated in individual duels, at least for the moment. That puts the pressure on Odd as a man who's delivered in the past. But Woot has put it down to a 1v1, and Neki swing out wide will lock it in for ULF. Their first pistol here in EMEA. And you can see, they know that it came at just the right time. They're still in the game.
Yeah, right now there's only one comeback I believe in on this server, and that's the ULF comeback. They're bringing it back. 4 rounds in a row. Well, what's a 9-round streak to a 4-round streak? About 5 in difference, but we will see.
Thank you for that, Tom.
You got to start believing somewhere. Stern's now on the board. He's only 1 kill away from catching up with comeback, so
And we all know how difficult it is to play the defensive Killjoy, so obviously thrives here on the attack.
Yeah, exactly. He can now, look, Benji Fishy, 16-2. What's he done on the defense? 1-1.
And there you go, folks. Stats don't lie.
They don't lie. That's what I said. Wait, what?
The assist didn't even come from, well, obviously didn't come from the Marshals on the other side of the map. That was just the firing squad. All right.
Was it? I think,
Classic.
well, Benji has the bandit, so.
Oh, he does have, oh, sorry. I was looking at the smaller monitors. It was a little,
Did Dema have, if Dema had heavy shields, then he literally probably got hit for like almost the full amount and then got hit. Oh, okay, comeback. I'm starting to get a little bit worried. We didn't have to say about their second round stats because normally that was a given, but it doesn't look like those are going to start off with a bang. Nice shot, darts, trades back. Fabian's doing well. They're bringing it back. Neki with another. It's now left on to Benji, and he's miles away. So what chance does he have? He's going to have to walk. By the time he gets there, he'll be exhausted. And, you know, both players are incredibly healthy on 49 HP.
yeah, look at those shields as well.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah. You'll take a few tags of that bandit. Doesn't do much damage, thankfully.
Oh, dear.
Yeah,
A little nervous.
Oh, yeah, I like they've lined up, but they're now very, very low. And in the end, it will be ULF.
I wasn't even worried.
Look at it.
5 rounds in a row.
The margin's so
Comeback
thick.
is on.
It's fair to say Heretics never stood a chance.
No.
Whew, well, that was a tough one. And you have to think about it this way, Tom. It's their first experience of winning the pistol and having that follow-up from the victorious side. So, you know, there were a little bit of nerves, but yes.
Yeah, that looks like nerves.
And actually, genuinely...
That's visualized nerves. Yes! I'm so nervous right now.
Well, that's relief, perhaps. Yeah, right afterwards. I think for ULF down on that stage, though, what is exciting me is even when they got that first round on the board, when Denver got a 4K, it doesn't matter. Every moment, they're getting hyped. They're living every second down on that stage. And that has brought them, you know, back within punching distance of Heretics. An early fight for comeback has given the advantage away. Lots of weaknesses here for ULF as Demmer goes in. I thought he had a real opportunity there, but Woot was a little too quick.
Okay, 1 for 1, but in this much of a deficit, that's not going to help too much. Obviously, they are playing this as a bit of a harder bonus round, and you know what? They might just get themselves a free plant. There is nobody here. There's a trip currently on short, so we'll at least give them information if anybody goes in that direction.
Spike planted.
There's an opportunity here. We've not seen much from
Placing
Stern.
swamp grenade.
I'd love to see a Stern round. 2-11 right now, but getting into that post plant. Obviously, this is where the swarm of heretics will look to take over.
The flood will wash away ULF on this A site. Unless there's a big performance from down below. Stern. It's going to be isolated, you would imagine, because Audaz was stunned, but he still got the kill up top. Stern!
One
Yes!
enemy remaining.
A triple from the man who struggled in that first half. The attack side killjoy, Tom. We talked about it. That's what it's all about. With a bulldog, too. What a sensational round from Stern. That's going to get your confidence right back into play.
When does this stop being a bit of a me?
Ooh.
Because, like, at 9-0, then winning a few rounds is like, okay, cool. We're starting to see. We said at the beginning, if they get more than 8, then I'm nervous for Heretics going forward in the year. They're only 2 away from 8 now, and the Heretics are on an eco. We might have to start looking at ULF, and if they come back from 9-0, like obviously we saw an 11-round streak from Mates the other week, so probably wouldn't be the... Well, no, I think it would be the craziest thing. I think it would. If a team with 2 stand-ins comes back from 9-0 down to beat Heretics, I think that's the craziest thing we've seen.
Pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy, especially with the debut ULF had, especially with the start of it being 8-0. I
might also get called a biased caster because I've been cheering when ULF win rounds.
Well, after seeing them get 4 in their opening again, I don't think that's unjustified. You never want to see people lose the game like that.
We love an
No one
underdog
likes
story.
a one-sided game. Oh, nice shot by Banshee. That's a dangerous start to this round. ULF need this. They're up against pistols. They're up against marshals. It's a weak buy from Heretics to try to get back on that horse. And for ULF, it's a necessary win.
Stack up. Dissipated. The spike has gone down over on the B side. So that at least gets the clock ticking. And up against those marshals, okay, you can use them as more of a no-scoping device. That might help you out a bit, but still not favoured. No ultimates at least. Neki won away, but he's also in the heart of the site. If he used the Hunter's Fury when he got it, he'd have to be mad. Nice shot. The trade back immediately. Neki, he's even found another. Bringing it back into a 3v3 scenario, and this is where it really does get tough because those snipers are still in hand. They're doing a little bit of tickle damage, but that's all the tickle they'll get. It's 7 now for ULF. His climb back continues. They are now just 2 rounds behind. Mitch, what's going on?
Whoa. Start to think about if Heretics don't have as dominant, I said 8-0, obviously 9-0 with the streak that we have. Pistol to start. This is a completely different game that we're looking at here. The reality is right now, you know, when we started out this comeback from ULF, the energy that they were giving in every single moment, it made me excited. It made me...
Might have just come down to, okay, guys, time to buck your ideas up. This is a game that was 9-0. It was done. I didn't feel the need to take a pause, but it's starting to slip away.
I think Benji was 16-2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like, everything has slowed down for Heretics.
But yeah, I think Woot was, what, 9-1?
Yep. Here we are. ULF with a big resurgence, and Heretics seemingly looking to get right back into play. Hunter's Fury, though, thrown through. Disruptive and tags are being found. Woot, caught in the open, will be dropped. The numbers stay in favor of Heretics. His comeback fires himself into that backside. Good damage already. Turns to help his buddy with a fight, and he's picking everything up. Comeback with the 4K, the 4K. And it's a sliver of health on Benji and himself that carries Heretics to double digits.
Do you reckon they were saving him for when they needed him? That was all the pause was Neil took the pause and he goes, now. I don't think so. I don't think comeback
No,
will
I
do
think
that,
you're right onto it there.
But he's now, yeah, he has, I hate it. He's had a little bit of a resurgence, because I don't want to use the other word.
Nice,
9 to 14. 10 to 7. The streak of 7 rounds in a row for ULF has been broken. And unfortunately, with how close some of these rounds were, the economy is on the brink for ULF. Now they win this round, and Heretics are in the same sort of trouble. And Dem has actually invested into that attack side operator, so clearly feeling like there's a man or somebody pushing that needs to be countered. For now, though, he's just locked in over on the A side of the map.
Portal closed.
Very slow round from ULF. There will be a burst of aggression in a moment, if not from them, from Woot. He sent the decoy through, a flash as well, and all that utility's not got it all too much.
You should run.
The lockdown comes into play. Benji in that deep, long position gets a lot of value now. Hunter's Fury going to be sent through. This is their moment to strike. Boo was waiting. Will be caught off in the end. Although the lockdown's destroyed, they have no control left on this defensive side over B. The plant is as easy as can be.
And they really love this B-site. They were almost caught. Comeback now posted on the angle. Baz managed to connect the shot. He's getting swung on. His stuns have helped. The lurk of Stern finds nothing. Gives the defenders back an advantage as they look to circle in on the remaining attack players. Although saying that, Neki has managed to find himself some space. Demo whiffs as well. These operator shots are just firing blanks, it seems, and Fabian turns around at the wrong moment. It's another Benji fishy multi-frag. Only Neki left in the corner, and he can do nothing versus Benji. It looks like he took a moment or two to cool off, but he's right back to winning ways.
Oh, 11 on the board. They certainly let ULF catch up. Now, this is a moment where if you're on that attack side, you're begging for another timeout, for that moment to steady the ship. But alas, they've already used both. That 8-0 start from Heretics drained them of all opportunity. So they've got to keep this going as the pistols come out and Heretics move towards 12. Is there an idea here on the attack side? How do you get the best out of this round? Well, take a look at what they've got to work with. A lot of weak weapons, but some shields, and most importantly, that Viper's Pit on Fabian. He has the chance to get that down. Maybe these weaker weapons can stand a better chance, but losing to Mur right away, not going to help. At least the op is pushed back, but now it's set up for another strike.
Okay. Not the ideal range. Still going to be able to trade at least one back. Fabian is the main point of contact here, with him having the... Yeah, I was about to say, don't forget the spike, lads. Him having the Viper's Pit. Oh, no! He was trying to find the gun, I believe, and that's about as cursed as it gets. They will now retrieve a spike, but at a cost that really is second to none. Come back. Already spotting out that little bit of extra information. Timmy the turret being sacrificed.
I like that from Comeback. He steps in, lets the turret activate, see there's no one there. It comes back through hoping that they will have already stepped up, but they were very patient. They knew what he was up to. He's inside the smoke now. I'm going to assume there's a shorty in play. Nope, he's walked through the smoke with his op scoped in. Of course he has. So 12-7 we go for Team Heretics. 5 chances to close this out. And well, ULF, they came in with a shockingly poor start. But the resurgence they've had...
I believed for a moment.
It really got me. It really got me. They had me in the second half, not going to lie, but, well, Heretics have come through with the final out.
They had me in the first half of the second half.
Yes. And kind of, I suppose, the last quarter of the first half.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, it's
all right. We'll get back to Mini for the numbers in just a moment. Come back. Oh, hello. Now they've seen him. Oh! Those are the shots we're used to seeing. Unfortunately, it seems like they've woken him up, and, well, that didn't go quite as well. Whoa, also taking a hell of a lot of damage. They managed to maybe do more than they would probably realize.
Oh, I'd like to rotate.
It looks like they're still potentially going to go back in the same direction, just switching things up to maybe claim some mid-control. They've loved a B-site hit as well, so I wouldn't be overly surprised if they go there eventually.
Or even put the pit up there just as a distraction, whether you want to take it or not, especially because Fabian's 41 HP.
There is a trip that he needs to break first.
Yeah, that's an easy break. But okay, no pit, no distraction. Instead, they'll move towards Garage, but the double push-up's coming in right now. Banshee's here. Hat comes off his head, but he's got backup from Rienz, thankfully. There goes the spike. Fabian trapped in that corner. He will at least survive a moment longer, but then Benji finishes it off. 13-7. You set the bar at 8, Tom, and it looks like they've exceeded it.
On the other side of things, I mentioned that so far, I think we've only seen him play Yoru. Is now back on a Fade, back on an initiator that he's comfortable on, Rienz onto the Gecko, and it is more of a setup heavy around comeback, especially on this attack side. I think that's a nice change.
Oh, we've seen this before. A lot of players sitting, waiting in the spawn, playing off that initial contact, which will come towards Stern. As Prowler's already sent through, back up on the way, but not quick enough. Comeback's already on him. Now up close, though. He's going to face a big challenge with the early retake. 3 players rushing it through. It's catching Heretics off guard at least to start, but now they know that the cavalry is coming. Great stun. At least going to catch one up close. The trades, good to decent, as Neki pulls this back into a doable reality for Rolf. Oh, okay. Beautiful spray with the wide swing, and a 1v1 set up as a result. Fabian's chamber about to be put to the test.
Still a snake bite available.
Yep.
Benji's lineup will go in immediately, and even though that's been tapped, it should be denied at least for the moment. He doesn't need to re-pick. Just wanted to make sure he wasn't sticking it the entirety of the way, but it doesn't matter. Fabian will hit the shot eventually, and should have himself enough time to get this over the line as well. It is an all-important pistol round coming in for Ulf, and a very good start, but mostly from the leader.
God, this is what we like to see. Again, we came into this series, we came into even the second half of last map, and we hadn't seen Ulf pick up a pistol. They very nearly whiffed the second round, but that really continued that momentum on from the first half when they found it. 4 in a row. If they can get that kind of start here, gold dust. And this is what I love to see, man. Fabian, last map, he reminded me of like Yedeje, the way he was screaming. I mean, he had some pipes on him, and now he shushed him after a pistol. Hell yeah. Well, a 3-in-1 start. He's feeling confident. Or Neki's feeling confident. Sorry, Fabian only got the one. Yeah, a little bold to shush.
Well, yeah, he got the last.
The last one.
He got the last. He clutched. He won the clutch, so he told him to shush.
And the pistol.
It's funny.
Let's hope he doesn't come to regret that.
You got to go with it. You got to go with it. You got to play the confident game. Obviously, for this round at least, not much invested into. Okay, but one of the things they did have was a Sheriff on Benji.
Don't miss me too much.
Fabian already dead.
I think he might have shushed him back there. For the 1v1
He was actually just
to go.
predicting that he was going to be quiet in the next round.
I'm going to have a quiet performance. I'm going to hush. Yeah, well, Benji's revenge has already been had, but...
Revengey fishy.
Yeah, sure, why not? But for him, that 1v1 didn't result in a round win. That's the difference. Okay, so they're eco. They're eco.
Let's go.
Not going to push through that.
Confidence.
He's too close.
Confidence.
He's going. He's already in. He gets 1. He gets 2. It's on us for 3. That is a wonderful resurgence from Ulf, who I was worried would have a similar second round to what we saw before, where they were pushed to the brink, but Audaz has bailed them out of that situation.
Okay,
Wow.
Doesn't seem like we're getting the same reaction, but this was nice. It was risky as hell, but this is exactly the style I want to see from this team.
Yeah.
Are they going to beat them on synergy or team play or like having perfect utility setups? No. Are you going to beat them by playing mad? Probably still no, but at least you will get rounds like that, and it's giving you the best opportunity. As you can see, second best map. Not this
Before
group of players.
Before the 2 of the best players left. Yep.
Fabian. Now, he only has himself a headhunter this time. He's already shot 2 bullets at the Gecko Flash. He doesn't have a whole lot to play with here.
Mosh pit.
And obviously on the other side, this is where they now come in with the full buy.
Be right back.
Fabian, oh my goodness.
2 was all he needed.
He didn't even want the kill necessarily.
1 to
It would
spare.
have been enough for him to be spotted and TP back to set up Demur to catch them as they come
Honestly,
up through long.
Mitch,
Instead,
I think you need to
opening pick for Fabian. Early rotation as well towards the safe side, but it does look like they'll be forced into a retake.
Oh, Util might be able to deny them a little bit. Unfortunately, Wingman has already done the job. No weapon found for Fabian, so I think he genuinely has 1 bullet on the chamber. But
Scout
been
destroyed.
given over. Forward on Fabian. Oh, okay. He's managed to survive that. I thought he was dead to rights, and eventually he is. Benji and Boo. Rian's still in the corner. His util now dissipated. But he's just meant for the surprise factor, and a surprise factor he most certainly is. Flash back online, completely blinded his stern, and more importantly, the time is gone. There is no way they are taking home this round. They might take a few casualties. Neki still going strong. And in fact, I thought he might go through the TP with that rifle. He didn't.
a bold choice, but he just wanted to make it even more costly. Unluckily, nobody was sticking around. Heretics, one on the board.
Costly one, though.
End. But yeah, it ends up taking quite a few blows in just because of that last fight. This attempt to swing through, guarantee that there was no defuse underway. Perhaps close the round out with a TP, but they missed out on the last step.
Yeah, I think Stern at least did manage to keep a rifle, so they have boosted their economy a little bit. That allows for the operator to even come in as well. So it's ended up quite nicely for ULF, and a chance to get back into this a little bit early. Straight away, though, it has to be the escape, and actually punishing this kill is going to be quite difficult, but they are rushing it down to try and find him. In fact, it is the punish. Come back in, come back out.
That's a wonderful opening. The TP's taken, though. That's a double push coming through on Bath. Rienz has got his work cut out for him, but Fabian's alone on that swing. Now they know there's another. The spam doesn't stop the spike plant in Heretics, despite what looked like a few bumps in the road. They seemed to have this round locked in, but the Seekers, that's even going to reveal the position of Rienz as he goes down. We're back in the game. HP advantage goes towards ULF. Heretics look to deny. The molly goes in a little late, but the defuse has been denied. Neki has to push them. He has to run it down. They can play the time if he waits too long. And that clock is ticking. The pressure on, and I think he's already ran out. They can throw themselves at this. Lemmings would be enough.
Sign up for this shit.
And that's exactly what they're going to try. Neki, a 3K, but it might not be enough. He's got Boo, and it could be just in the nick of time. What a clutch from ULF. A Red Bull clutch to put that lead up to 2.
Fair play, Neki. He is 10-2 right now, and each time it's been insane moments. He did it in the pistol round. This was just ridiculous. And it was a 2v5 scenario where he had to come out with a 4K to win the round. That is massive from Neki, and that now puts them into the lead. It proves that, hey, that the IGL now stepping up as one of those big players on the server. And for Heretics, that is a bitter blow to what should have been an easy closeout to the round.
Oh man, I mean, that one was done. They had all the pieces, but evidently none of the picture. For Heretics, that's a big blow. And for ULF, this shows them that this squad can bleed. When they got that big streak last time, it wasn't to extend the lead. It was
that was fast.
It was to come back. Now, well, they extend their lead to 3-1, but an early blow dealt, a rifle onto Boo, a Viper's Pit late, one away from Orbital Strike.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. We need to be very cautious on this defensive side because look at what this kill has given. A player rotating from the A side, dead over here, sure. A rifle recovered, but mainly, it's this. It's the fact that Stern is now completely isolated. And sure, they're making up for that with a bit of info on B, but they can't play a retake if Stern is there. Where's he retaking from? Unless he manages to slip through bathroom, which I imagine there'll be someone there late, this man is going to have to fight his way out of this corner.
Yeah, he does have
or out of bathroom.
The trap in play, so that might help him out a little bit, at least to know that he's not being flanked as of right now.
Although, Wu can't feel the same.
Yeah, the flank on the flank.
30 seconds left.
Already, though. Util used to counter Neki once again, but it's only going to be a couple. I say only because there's still plenty that needs to be done. Come back with another, and now could just look to dash into the TP. Nobody on the other side. They're going to have to try and sprint all the way back. They were wary just in case he'd managed to put his TP down and could have gone right back to them. Orbital Strike used to deny. Molotov gives them time, but Fabian's already passed it. In fact, they're both already past it. Ultimate use, convergence path to try and stun them up. But again, already close. I think that's been spotted, but it doesn't matter. Comeback goes swinging in and they'll win it anyway. A close round. A round that maybe should have even gone the way of Heretics, but good reactions from ULF. They are extending their lead.
Oh, this is a remarkable play. I mean, obviously for ULF, they started on the defense by their own choice, but I think we can look far past that. This is a team that came in 9-0. Heretics honestly looked like they were playing ranked on Smurf accounts to start this out. They were not breaking a sweat.
That's just their normal accounts.
But now, 4-1 in the lead. Big individual plays. We've seen Audaz obviously looking good last match. They're going to do something. They're going to look for info. And the fact that he gets 2 players looking the other way, that can't happen again. And I think that realization's been made on Heretics, that there are gaps right now. Those gaps are being exploited. Let's patch them up.
Okay, that's the second time Deva's run through a TP and been domed immediately. It definitely seems like, just look how passive this time the positions are. But it doesn't matter when there's a tour de force on the other side.
That's a spike.
It'd be an easy pick for Fabian.
In Dildefels. Very nice. I like the fact that Demer's the one going into the TP. Again, the idea there just being, let's check if they're there. I can TP back if they're not. And then at least we can rotate.
Look how far Fabian
to the
has
B
gone.
side if needed.
He's already pushed all the way up, so they know that it's here. Two players already almost look like they're attacking the site. They've held all the extremities. Woot trying to swing into the angle. So he's now spotted his opponents. Nice shot from Neki, but it's only the one this time. And you can see they're still trying to take these aggro fights, almost disrespectful fights from the Heretics players. And because of that, they're now a man down. A whiff shot from Boo. And he's boxed in. He's completely surrounded.
Yeah, tour de force waiting for him down on long. Tucking in the corner is the only option. Time is ticking, and ULF will need to make a move. The question is, will they be synchronized? Will they be able to trade at least for the first? It looks like yes. Fabian round that corner just in time, but they don't know where comeback is. Right time, right place for Fabian. Story of the round. A 3K out of him and a 5th for ULF. 5-1 in the lead, and the energy hasn't changed down on that stage. But for the first time, the scenario has. It really feels like ULF, not just in the last couple rounds, but in this map, they've got full control of the reins.
Hey, he's giving it. And I like it as well, because there's got to be that little bit of almost playful banter as well, that these are players from your region. They're players that you will have met, you will have known, and you're sort of the new upcoming youngsters to the stage, even though, like, if you look at the age of a lot of the players on the stage, they may even still be older than Woot, just because of how young he is, but it's a chance, it's an opportunity for them to play against the people they probably hope to replace or play with in the future. Fabian, this is such an aggressive angle. He's got to almost get one and escape, and he just takes the escape route, but there's no escape from comeback. Another opener for him. Can they transfer into something? Dema just went running into the blender. That's another gun on the deck.
Sure, and the Viper's pit put into it. Now that really changes things. The judge, not one you're going to look to challenge, even if you do, there's a man in front of him. Or man beside him, sorry, in the form of Benji.
Oh, I like
so much control to play with. Benji's forced forward, a chance to drop that pit if they can find him. Audas wrapping around the back will catch the players. Over on short. Find them running back through as well. Audas with a huge amount of impact, but the snake bites denied the fuse, and Benji's there to clean it up. Big round from him. The pit made all the difference, and Heretics have a round on the board. Another at last.
Yeah, they were a little bit unlucky. Benji goes down to 14 HP, and the second that pit drops, it would have been panic stations, but this judge was definitely the defining piece, the opener that was found a very risky play. It's weird though, because like obviously this is what we're calling for. We want to see this team taking crazy risks, but I think Dema has now been just completely obliterated, like maybe 4 rounds in a row. So I don't know. Maybe there's a slightly better way to do it.
Well, is it going to be the one and done for Heretics? Can ULF bounce right back? It could come down to this early fight from Fabian. A few shots not landed in the TP. Well, it's fair to say it's not quite safe. Unlucky. And now, the Heretics set their sights on the A side. Caught one already. That's a huge detain, but there's going to be backup. Stern's coming in to try to save the day. Oh, he can't quite get there in time. Trades at least. Well, a trade for ULF. And then an immediate shutdown from Heretics. 5-3.
Yeah.
Finally putting rounds back to back.
It was a low buy. That's the only thing. It was a singular Guardian, so like they were saving for this round.
And it didn't really have a chance to do much, did it?
No. It was, the immediate dash in. I think that's where we are seeing like the success, at least a bit, of what you wanted to see from this composition. It's like setting up comeback to get those openers. Yep. We've seen him also using his own like slow very effectively, like stunning players up, leaving them in awkward positions. So I definitely like what I'm seeing from his Waylay. It's just some of the clutch rounds they've lost, some of the silly like flanks they've lost. Those are the things we don't want to be seeing from Heretics, especially when they come up against, well, tougher opposition. Fabian is just, he's out of his TP. He doesn't care. Comeback is waiting for him to peek a different angle. And they've left Stern in the corner. They're going to hear Fabian moving back. But actually, after not seeing anything, he almost goes like, screw it. I want another bite of the cherry. And even though he fails, do they check? They do check. Fair play to Woot for checking that.
Dead.
Hello?
He's down.
He's got to be dead.
He's got to have. Oh! Fair play. That was a shot and a half. I thought he was dead to rights with nothing. But he's managed to take a 2-for-1 combo meal.
Toxin screen down.
And you could just look at the way the bench is having to play. He's just having to check every angle under the sun to make sure he's not being flanked. And he's not, but he doesn't know that.
Poison orb emitting. Poison's off.
There's going to be re-aggression with that flash. And just been caught.
Blinded.
Nothing.
30 seconds
left on the clock. No clear direction from this attacking squad until they shift towards this B site. That's where the plan's going to come
Orbital
through.
strike.
The thing is, orbital strike online, 20 seconds on the clock. It really depends how quick they are to get to the site, or boots may hit the ground.
Launching smoke.
At this point, it's all down to that orbital strike
10
position.
seconds left.
This could be denied. The plant starts here. Great orbital strike. It's going to be stuck. He's going to give his life for it and just about get it. It sets Benji into a 1 versus 3, but he won't even get the first.
Yeah, I like that. Clear plan set out from off. And as I said, like, we've had expectation of them being super aggressive, doing some of the silly rounds, but that was just smart. By having 2 players on one side and the other just playing passively with the utility, knowing that they would be able to delay that extra bit of time, and I think something that Heretics clearly didn't clock quick enough. That's going to be another round onto the board. I believe they're just buying a little bit of extra time to go get themselves the operator as well, which has been a big part of this defensive side, like having Fabian in these aggressive positions and just causing so many issues. 6-3, half at minimum is going to be level. And I'll be honest, with how they've been playing so far, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the lead.
Yeah, it almost feels like the question is, how much will they lead by at the half? Because ULF not getting one of these next 3 seems very unlikely. The play has been solid. Neki looks unbelievable, even here in the end, using the orbital strike for that late play. They've been very disciplined. Their defense has looked solid. I imagine the attack will still be there. We'll still see a good face to it, but
I think it's going to be tougher with this comp.
yeah, I think a lot of the value from like your chamber, for example, in those early fights is going to be mostly here. Great duel down on long. A double push and an opening. For 4v5 now, Heretics having to play without the Viper Wall.
I like how it's the 3 like permanent members of the squad all pushing together, like having that little bit of extra synergy, and then the other 2 is like, you guys hold A. You got Viper's Pit, you just delay them as much as possible, don't worry, we'll be there in a moment. And they are now ready and stacked up on that side of the map. They've got the trap deep within B Hooker as well, so that they can still just have the jiggle peek from Neki, and while Stern's only going to get the 1, but he's at least delayed them a little bit. Dema in the corner. An operator in an unorthodox position, but it's worked out for Fabian. Comeback trying to be sneaky though. He's managed to make his way through. Time is being bought. You can see the patience now using that convergence path. And in combo, it's only going to be 1 player that gets killed, but they've caught Dema. He was also stunned up. Beautiful combination of ultimates from Heretics. And what was looking like another damning position, they brought back to an advantage.
It's Neki in the 1 versus 2. He has been
remaining.
heating up like an overused laptop, and he's already found the first. A chance! Oh, that spray was so close, but Boo swings in. Oh, man, that felt like ULF in the lead. Neki continuing his streak, but Heretics won't let them run away with this. A 2-round gap now.
This
lead.
combo is lovely.
The lead's being kept honest for now, at least. Ah, nice try from Neki, though.
6-4. Lead is still theirs, but the economy definitely in the bin a little bit. They're going to give the Guardian over to Fabian just to try and see if he can get something on these aggressive plays, but it looks like a more standard sort of group up, maybe trying to deny any form of orb control, especially with Fabian only being a couple away. You can understand you don't want that tour de force coming into this round.
I mean, the approach here from ULF going out for the long fight on B, it's just unfortunate for them that they've come to a jousting competition and there were more knights on the other side, hit by a few more lances. I mean, the fact that they have had some success with re-clearing some map control, bursting that utility, this time they go dry, it doesn't work out, and Heretics end up in a position of a 5v4 with the A site being their choice, and it is much less heavily defended than any other part of the map. You know, in terms of retakes here, That's a very early molly. Demur could go. Oh, it's on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Demur could go for the ult, but do you want to risk it here? No. Save it for that 7-5 scoreline at the half, surely.
They'd need a kill or two before I feel like that ult is ever going to... Well, there's one. I don't know where Orders has just got that from. In fact, he's managed to find a second. This is now starting to get a little bit interesting, but Demur's already gone. Trade back, a third kill for Orders, but he is dead. Stern, the stand-in to try and do something, and instead of shoot, he's jumped. That's not what he was aiming for.
That is the Mouse Will coming back to get you. Unlucky. 6-5 now for Heretics. They started this one out slow. A 5-1 down. One last hurrah before we go to our halftime break. The timer ticking down. An operator in the hands of Comeback early will be sent towards B long.
The triple stack.
Will Audaz look for that fight? The smoke's already down. Orbs here could play a big role. Audaz 2 away from the orbital strike. A tour de force, 1 for Fabian. On the attack side, none that will be very easy to get online with 3 orbs required, but could have that late round play. The final one of the half, and you can see that Heretics, they're not giving any ground to ULF here without a contest. A default played for the first 40 seconds, but it does look like we're getting close to them running into this totem pole. 3 players stacked up in a firing squad. Quite the challenge for whoever rounds that corner.
Well, no, maybe not. Comeback manages to just don't want an escape, but it's the Benji maybe trying to help out that has ended up losing his life instead. Whoop, though, will give them the advantage once again, and Comeback just looking to try and find a gap within the smoke, maybe catch the player who's constantly been trying to deny them. It's another for Woot, adding another to the death pile, looking like a 6-6 half is likely. 2 players flanking. Not going to get caught by Wingman, but he knows exactly where to look and leaves just Ordaz alone. He's had his moments, Mitch, but this would have to be the best of them.
It was a stellar start from ULF, but for victory in the half, a 3K needed. First, we'll give him his ultimate if he found it, and as we can see, that's a big if. 6-6 at the halftime. A resurgence from Heretics as they get back to 6-6, get back to level. We're going off to our halftime break, but we're going to hear a little bit from Benji Fishy on how Heretics are getting on and getting their confidence back after last year.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
The story has more been about ULF. Like those first 6 rounds especially, we saw some big clutch plays. Neki and Ordaz playing fantastically. I think Fabian also having some moments as well. It's not looking like a done deal, but the second half, well, I felt like this pistol could tell a different story. A victory for Heretics, and you do worry a little bit that this game might slip away.
For ULF, they're the squad that need to be locked in all the way through. At any moment, even at 12, it feels like it could slip away. With Heretics having that extra gear, they've proven it at the highest level consistently. And now, a wounded animal after that first week. Can only think they'll be even more deadly as they're backed into a corner. The pistol, with a minute left, sees ULF spread across the map. The spike left behind. They're looking for fights. They're looking for battles, and they'll find it at least to start. But, oh, okay, the results actually are what they want out of that. Very nicely done. Viper's still online for the wall to go back, but they're going to bring that spike to the A site. And with Rianne's down, there's not much that can be done.
Danger of
No,
that's watches for that as well. They are catching every player as they go. And well, a man looking for confidence, a 1v4 would be one way to boost it, but I'm just looking at the aggressive position of Stern. Yeah, they're going to fall back. It doesn't make sense to over-aggress in this sort of position. They're going to try and just get themselves into a tradable spot and not give anything over to Benjamin Fish, because he has been taking heads all day long, trying to bait someone into the peak. Now, bear in mind that they might start to worry just a little bit because of the snake bite, and even running through it is Ordaz, but he's the only one taking a fight. He's the only one whose position was known. I like this. Everybody else is still a myth to Benji Fishy. He's trying to find the story, he's trying to find the Loch Ness Monster, but unfortunately, they are all hiding in the lake. It is an easy win out in the end for ULF, and they reclaim their lead.
Now those pistol stats looking much better for this squad after this series and doing it against Heretics.
The second you said it, they've won all of them.
Yeah, genuinely. From that moment forward, it's been flawless. And a lot of them leaving Benji in the clutch. The man who was picking up so much damage starting off this series. An injection of rounds much needed with both. Keep in mind with the pistol. Yes, get that Yediche channel. But with the With the fact that ULF won the pistol and the follow-up and still ended up neck and neck, I think you can see how valuable that pistol could be now that they're on the side that they didn't choose to start on. Also, I will say, Demmer's had the unluckiest game ever. Like, I'm not going to say all 11 of his deaths. I'm going to say at least 4 of them have been complete BS. The rest, you know, unlucky.
Some of them was him just running through
smokes. That's your fault. You're not hitting your shots. Yeah, I mean, that's your fault. But there are 4 I'll give him a lot of excuse, especially when there were 3 players stacked up here. He got 1 tap.
So he's 1 and 7 is what you're saying?
Yes.
Not so
criticize him for being 1 and 7, not 1 and 11. That's my take on this situation.
You've saved him. There you go.
No one will be mean to him now.
No, it's fine. It's fine, honestly. But not much back.
Who trained you?
Yeah.
Cool. That wasn't Demmer.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Just jump up with a classic and.
Spike planted.
Is this an ad? Is that why I'm watching right now? We'll see if he can, if he gets 4 more, we're in an advertisement.
Molly fading. Fabian's thinking about going in. It looked like
Don't do it.
that would be perhaps an insane play, but not in a good way. Instead, he sits here. Challenge coming his way. Stun gonna catch him. He's still good for the first and the second shot. Fabian, that is dirty game, but Lay. So is it from Boo. He's almost taking himself a double. Gonna be the 3rd in the round. 8 on the board for ULF, but I gotta be honest, a little more costly than it looked like it would be.
When it was, what, 5 classics, you don't really expect 3 people to go down. I'll say for Fabian, proof again that obviously stuns are just cosmetic if you believe in them. And if you have aim as good as his, which we don't. But nonetheless, a little bit more damage than they would have liked, but they managed to get the conversion once again.
I don't know what that was about.
I'm pretty sure it's like, I can't hit anyone. That's what that looked like. I was like, I don't know what's going on. They've still given him the rifle. Still have the belief, still giving him the confidence. Early spam from them, but nothing to be found. This is where Heretics have the buys. And as you said, like towards the, and even in the middle of the last half, they lost some silly clutches. That was kind of what gave the springboard. They definitely look better towards the end of it. It's whether or not they can get going a little bit quicker, otherwise ULF just might be there to close it out. Fabian maybe got a little bit further than expected, but I think the barrel might have been spotted. That's enough for Ians to get the kill through the wall. An opener that they're definitely going to value.
Yeah, I think either they saw the barrel or there's a mirror behind him on the stage and they can see his screen. That's about the only 2 scenarios. And
I'm going to go
mirrors down there.
He saw the barrel because otherwise you're calling him out for cheating.
Yeah. Technically, unless he put the mirror there, it wouldn't be his fault, but, you know, there is no mirror. It's okay. Oh, 4 players left alive, but boots on the ground. B sign has been taken. Problem is Heretics are ready on both sides to pounce back in. Look at the other side of the map
30
for
seconds
Woot.
left.
He's about to have a nasty surprise as Stern catches him in the head. Puts it back to a 4v4. He needs to rotate quickly, but he's a thorn in their side. Because he doesn't take the TP, they're going to have to worry about him coming behind, which means it's time to go. Oh, unfortunately for Neki, comeback goes right into his corner.
Yeah, and the problem is that that's the guy who is kind of marking the spike. Look at the position of it. The other players have to try and swing back around, and they're just not going to be able to do it. Comeback, I think only just realizing that, yep, everybody is dead, wanting his teammate to now get the defusal. But also, again, I think Comeback's use of the slow has been fantastic. Yeah. Like, the amount of times I've seen him hit someone, dive in, get an opener. And in that round, that was the crucial kill. Everybody else was locking down an angle, coming in on the flank. There was only 1 player on site. Comeback cleared him, round is done.
Yeah, I think he really is.
He even got the next one as well. Fair play.
He got the next one, and then he was setting up for the 3rd.
He's like,
pre-fired the 3rd guy.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, if they close,
that's when you're so locked in. You're so locked in that you don't even realize you've already won.
Yeah, it's like 1 enemy remaining.
Here.
Didn't hear that, mate. Didn't hear. All I heard was the shots of my gun ringing out. The thing is, for ULF, 8-7, rifles come out here. Heretics winning this round will propel them back into the game. The hindrance fades, but not in time, as Stern is able to punish Boo, and presence on this A side undeniable. The spike, though, has been left behind. There's the option to go back towards the B side if they want to, or a late lurk from Fabian. Either way, that's going to be a problem for Team Heretics to deal with.
Already fair few players here.
They know this
Flash through already, and managing to do at least a little bit of delay. Thrash throw now, a chance to stun, but it hasn't quite connected. And now looking to maybe switch things up, but bear in mind, there is still a player in the form of Comeback on the other side of the map. They're sticking around, they're waiting. Molotov not going to connect. Means they do get themselves in that advantageous position with the time ticking in their favor. Bear in mind, Orders with a singular kill will have Orbital Strike online. That might just turn the round. He's in a very aggressive position.
Ooh, well, he's been spotted, that's for sure. And clearing out of the smoke, on as Demur down. The only man left standing. They know exactly where he is. They've got him boxed into as the defuse hits halfway. Fabian's running out of time. And Wu will be there, hindering his efforts. 8-8 now on the board. Neck and neck with Heretics climbing back into this after being 5-1 down to start. This is where ULF will start to feel that pressure again. They're no longer in the lead. They're no longer cheering after every pick. Now it comes back to survival. Whoop. Sit
said-
Fabian down.
Yeah,
That's what
or
he said.
sit back down.
No, it was an F. It was sit Fabian down. That's what he said. Sit Fabian down. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he shushed him earlier. I mean, it's just basic
You want to play?
yes.
Let's play.
cause and effect.
Not much in terms of weaponry to play with here for ULF, but they do have themselves a tour de force and a couple of other ults to play with. A post plant here would be nice. Can Dema get anything? He's used the stun again, and it's an orbital strike. Benji has to go forward, but they don't expect him to! He's coming away with the kill! He should have been dead to rights immediately, and now a counter orbital strike! One goes through the TP. Stern is almost dead immediately.
At least they can plant the spike, Tom.
They forgot it. Oh,
At least they can get that plant on A, though, Tom.
Yeah.
They got bathroom. It's all good.
Unattended bag in the baggage area. It's gone wrong. Someone's going to have to dispose of that. Oh, even using the, used the rifle to force him back and then just wrecked him, and then Comeback's gone flying back around the map at light speed. The last two are low. Any hope in this round is gone.
I still can't believe Benji got the kill. The kill he got as well dropped the spike, right? Yeah, it was that player in the corner.
30
Benji
seconds left.
running out, literally won them the round.
Enemy remaining.
That's... Well, timeout from ULF. I'll call it already. I imagine this is where it's going to come into play, because you can't make a play like that off an ult. That's not a flash. That's not a stun. That's an ultimate! And you've let him run through it. When there were 3 players looking at it, what were they doing? At this point, there's no option. And they called a timeout. I didn't actually know that in advance, but honestly, if he didn't, I'd go down to the coaching booth myself and press the button. This is a moment for a reset.
I don't think you're
100%.
allowed to do that.
Well, I would, Tom. They can escort me out of the building. It's cold out there,
I
actually.
wish.
Please don't.
you're not
there
dressed for the
For the
outside.
winter. I haven't got my Night's Watch outfit on. Bloody hell. Yeah, but the timeout from ULF, I mean, predictable to say the least.
Stress has reduced a little bit with the last few rounds, 3 in a row. They have lost both pistols and still find themselves in the lead. This is where the economy comes back. A good time to take a pause anyway, just because you now have those rifles in play that, as you sort of mentioned, a couple of seemingly wasted ults for not a lot in return.
My ult's ready.
It's a real kicker for ULF to go down like that. 3 rounds in a row for Heretics, though. In the context of the half, I mean, it's 3-2. It's not the end of the world, far from it. But this round here could decide the fate of the attackers. They're playing into a Viper's pit, and it looks like they're going to play through it already, sending in the Seekers. In goes the dash. Demur looking for a fight up close, and they'll get Comeback, but that's not the pit dropped. Benji keeps control over that, and another player steps in to cover that. It's Wu. He's got a freebie onto Fabian. Decayed in the corner and dealt with easily, but he can't stick around for long. They have to worry about that bathroom push. And while the wrap comes in from Rienz, the B site is now much more vulnerable. A pick from Stern could get the pit down on B as well as a plant.
Does he expect him to be in this corner, though? This is a much deeper angle. Something that needs to be checked, and he's seen the barrel of the gun. That's enough. Rienz also catches
30
out
seconds left.
Neki from afar, and because nothing has pulled anybody to the other side of the map, it makes it very difficult for these remaining players. They haven't cleared the pit. They haven't cleared heaven. It's not really anywhere for them to go. A plant, at least, the heaven spot completely open, but They put themselves in a spot where it's possible, and if Dema gets another kill, maybe his ult can help.
Well, Rianne's trigonometry lessons didn't go according to plan. The wingman hasn't quite cleared out a lot of space, but it doesn't seem to matter. Root has slipped past Demur, who's caught by Benji, and Audaz is left alone. A 1v3, but the defuse forces him forward, and double swung to close, double digits on the board for Heretics, and that was a big investment from the attacking side. Nothing found as a result, and Heretics, well, they're getting very close to the home stretch.
And close to the spot we kind of expected them to be. I think especially the sort of three long-term members of ULF have put on a bit of a show on this map, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. They need a little bit more, need to dig a little deeper. Dema's got the judge. Now, we've already seen how that can be utilized with these aggro dashes towards that Lamp's position. An opportunity, especially alongside the Saturate, to maybe steal a kill on Taboo, but I feel like he should be aware of it. In fact, they're even going to use the ult. They really want him to get this kill, but he's escaped.
Get missed. They gave him too much time to run back around. The man's got legs even without a booster. Boo's out of there, 14 HP. He will hold on to life, and they trade out comeback. Okay, early fight's decent with a Viper's Pit to fall back on. This is a great start for ULF. In goes the Mosh, and that won't deny the plan, but it will do damage to Neki, and then Stern falls, leaving Fabian in the open. That timing could not have been worse. At least they got a plant out of it. A small sliver of hope. A silver lining on a very gray cloud as Heretics close in the distance now from all sides. The walls are closing in. Neki's being crushed, and where can Demur go? 3 and 15. He's boxed in. They know where he is. And no one is giving him a chance. A snake bite, and okay, he'll get one more, maybe even another. But in the end, he will fall. And ULF fall further behind, 8 to 11 now. And the economy's on the rocks.
A little bit of standing in the end, but I think he knew he was done. Wasn't any way out. He could at least remove a couple of weapons, but it looks like...
You did try to hit him with a snake bite. I'm jumping shorty him, Benji, so I'm, you know, you can't feel that bad about being judged there.
11 to 8. Weaponry of sorts. Still a few weaknesses for the attack side, but they've just got to keep trying to run it back at this point. Comeback's had a much, much better display, and it kind of makes sense. Like, this composition looks like there's been a lot more sort of setup for him, but also I've just enjoyed watching him on the Waylay. I think he looks like the kit fits him a lot better than what we had seen in the last map. Nonetheless, still a little bit of a way to go. Those hero plays have started to dissipate though for ULF, and I think they're going to need a few more.
Shot a comeback that starts this off, and a few missed on the other side. Demur steps in through the smoke, and well, the others, they have been inconsequential picks, but these, anything but. Demur, he's given them a chance. He has resuscitated the still heart of ULF. It beats once more, but for how long? With Benji and comeback, and ult online for comeback. Very low HP for Demur, and guess who he's walking into? It's the man with the sniper. Actually, the best chance for him, but he's so quick on the trigger, and Benji's just the same. Hope fades quickly in this battleground as Heretics make it to 12-8. The streak seemingly showing no end, and for ULF, a 2-0 just over the horizon.
He is just, you can't see this, he is currently just stood on Deva's body, come back, just spamming bullets into it. Like, for the entirety of the end of that round.
90 bullets he sprayed into that body.
He picked up a rifle to spam the bullets.
Yeah.
So there you go. Clearly, I think we saw it earlier, he's played against these guys a few times and wanted to really show his dominance. He kind of already is, 20 and 13. As I said, a much, much better display than what we saw on the Neon on the last map, and even from what we saw last time they played this map in general. Very different opponent, but it's better signs at least. Dema is just running it down, and it's kind of what we wanted to see. Nice shot from Neki. That's at least going to be Woot gone.
Yeah. A solid start for ULF, an opening pick.
Poison's off.
will at least bridge the gap of the weak weapons they've brought to play. And Neki as well, tagged down to 51. Of course, the only player he can't heal up is himself. Doesn't feel like giving Demur the 5 HP back. Deal with it. Fair point.
It's expensive, you know?
Doesn't really make that much of a difference. So.
You'd have to rebuy it.
Poison orb emitting.
Oh, ultimate used. They're going to try and put the pressure on, but Rians is just looking to defend his teammate now. Benji throws out the snake bite. One comes the other way, but he's managed to dodge it. Orda's still in the corner, though. Not being cleared. But they do now have 3 players here ready and waiting.
The trade so quick from Heretics. Comeback. He's got himself a double, and Riens is there with 3. Team Heretics, 13-7, 13-8. There were definitely some blows landed by ULF throughout this series, but I guess the prophesized victor